Nowadays, energy, is such a big topic, and sustainability. People want to reduce their carbon footprint, their use of fossil fuels, and we get called in to do an energy audit. That's one of the things that we do, and the purpose of that audit is to basically determine where the inefficiencies are, and it could be something very simple from how often people are leaving light switches or the heat or air conditioning on to something more complex like just inefficient equipment. So we do energy audits, we do what's called building commissioning, which is sort of a complex exercise that's done in association with typically new construction to make sure that this building and all of its mechanical and electrical components is going to function as the architect and owner intended it to function.
Commissioning is a process that runs parallel with the construction process on a new building. The first step in commissioning is we sit down with the owner and get the owner's requirements on the project. That is exactly what the owner is expecting out of the project. Typically, they have talked with the architect on the design and what they want in color, but they haven't talked with anybody about what they expect the building to run like. That's my job's responsibility, is to make sure the building's built in a fashion that will be ran ultimately the way the owner wants. After we get those requirements from the owner, we sit down with the design team and study their design drawings. We make sure those drawings incorporate all the requirements that the owner wants. During construction, we go out to the field and we look at and make sure everything's installed exactly like the owner wants. And then finally, we do testing on all the systems in the building to make sure they function exactly like the owner wants. So in the end, the owner is guaranteed that he gets a building that he was looking for. Also on this project, we looked at the thermal storage tank. By shifting the time of usage of the chillers to the evening, we were able to save a substantial amount on demand charges. The focus on all these projects is to save energy for the owner. We try to make it the most efficient way to use his energy to get what he needs done.
A big chunk of what we did is actually based off our state energy conservation contract. We actually have a contract with the state of Texas where our job is to go in to a school district, and we've done this for the past 25 years, is to go in to a school district and help implement energy management strategies. We'll do an energy audit. We'll do a baseline energy audit where we can, okay, this is what's going on, and then we'll come back with a third meeting. Actually, we'll meet with them after we have written a report, and we'll make recommendations. A lot of staff within the school is just so wearing a lot of different hats. So, okay, we're just trying to simplify it for them as much as possible. Here's the facts, right? Here's an easy way to help save 10 to 20% of your energy through practices. So regarding energy management, you normally have two different aspects. You have the building aspect regarding energy management, and you have the operations aspect of energy management. If you look at the normal building, according to the EPA, up to 30% of a building is used inefficiently, and a lot of that is just behavior. So there's a lot of different aspects regarding energy management where we like to come in, where we look at the control systems and we implement behavioral modifications regarding if it's master plan, a 5-year master plan, or if it's having the school understand their utility bills. How do you operate? According to the EPA, if a change in degree can be 1.5 to 3% savings on the energy bill. We're very personable. We get them involved in the energy audits or the energy management commissioning or retro commissioning. We listen, we communicate. We want them to understand what we're doing. We want them to understand what we find, and we want them to understand how to fix or how to modify what we recommend. This is how we do it at Terracon.